my name is Lainey Liberty.
And I'm Miro Siegel.
And we are world schoolers, and we decided to make this short video for you today to talk to you a little bit about Project World School Family Summit. We're about ready to launch our 4th summit this October in Chiang, Thailand. And we figured it was about time to actually share with you a little bit about our world schooling journey and what's motivating us behind organizing these summits. We've hosted close to 700 people over the past 3 years, and we're excited for you to be a part of that.
We've been world schooling since 2009 when we left the United States. I was 10 years old at the time, and I'll be 19 this week. And we realized that world schooling, its biggest pitfall is the lack of communities. But it was a fantastic experience for those first few years, really without any hitches, without any problems. But then I started to feel isolated. I mean, I think we both really did. And we realized that at the time there was simply no community or no support network for people who wanted to lead a world schooling lifestyle like ourselves. And so Project World School was born, and a few years later we ran our first Project World School Family Summit with the intent on bringing this sense of support and community and making those connections with other world schooling families.
When we first started our journey in 2009, I started to write about our journey, and then they started asking me questions. How do I do this? How do I afford this? How do I overcome fear? How do I educate my child? These were all questions that we got. And then we started getting questions like, where do I go in Southeast Asia? What's it like traveling with 4 kids? Questions that I was absolutely incapable and unprepared to answer. And what I realized was I was not an expert in anything, and I was trying to figure it out as I was going along, but I was learning. And I was vulnerable, and I was open, and I was sharing my experiences through my blog, and that was the point of connectivity. But the fact of the matter was, I couldn't answer these questions. And so in 2012, there was a Facebook group called Worldschoolers, started by a man that Miro and I had interviewed on our Raising Miro blog. His name was Eli Gerzon, and he started this project because in his mind the term world schooling felt and sounded better to him than unschooling. And I was a part of the group. There were 200 members and not any conversation. And so I asked Eli if I could take over the group and start creating a safe place for people that were asking questions on my blog to start and create community around the whole idea of world schooling. I realized since I didn't have those answers that somebody else might have those answers because the question might match somebody else's experience. And so to facilitate a community where people can connect, and maybe somebody who's traveling with 4 kids could answer the question about traveling with 4 kids. Things that I just didn't have the experience to talk about, but it was my joy and my intention to facilitate community in order to have a space where we can all work as a community and get those questions answered.
It was the same year that we actually founded Project World School. And these two things are very much related because her working on the World Schoolers group tirelessly was a way for her to create this own community and find that sense. And we formed Project World School, and it was in its infantile stages, and we ran our first teen retreat that next year. And that was a way for us to kind of provide this similar experience of community for adolescents and young adult world schoolers. And so these two things they very much share the same values, and it's with these values in mind that we actually organize and run the Project World School Family Summits.
To be in a group of like-minded people is so powerful. If you haven't been to a Project World School Family Summit, I can't even express to you the power behind being among 150, 200, 300 of your peers that are all going through, that are all feeling the same things that you are feeling, to be in the company of people who don't think that you're nuts, to be in the company of people who believe that travel is an incredibly valid way to educate not only yourself but your children.
At the Project World School Family Summit, a part of what we offer is a completely voluntarily staffed kids camp. So while you, the parents, are attending sessions and taking in information and insight, you can rest assured in knowing that your kids are being engaged in play and being supervised. Our Kids Camp program shares many of the same values that the rest of the summit does. So for our Kids Camp program, we create a safe space where your children are supervised. However, we don't force them to do anything. Instead, we create many different options and opportunities for your children to be engaged, and for them to organize themselves and to meet their new best friends. And, that's really what it's all about. It's about making the connections with other families, and that goes down to the children as well. And there's nothing more valuable or, more incredible than meeting your best friend's family somewhere in the world on the road and traveling together.
The idea of having children feel empowered and making choices, it feels as if they have some control by coming to the Project World School Family Summit and choosing which groups they're going to connect with and which activities they're going to do and how they're going to spend their time during the summit and how they're going to express themselves through play. So realize that this is a space that they're going to have a positive experience and connect with other families that are traveling, and will find that there is a sense of normalcy in their childhood around being a world schooler, that they're just a normal kid and can travel and meet up with other normal kids that do travel. For us, it's really important to create that safe space for kids as well. And for us at the Project World School Family Summit, it looks like facilitating a lot of play.
One of the other things that we provide in our program is a teen-specific program. And this is held separately from the Kids Camp program. And so what this involves is we organize a couple of workshops or a couple of activities. We generally tend to have a game room or a teens-only room so that they can have some autonomy and have some space.
This year we're going to be holding a consent workshop for teens.
Very important.
And we also facilitate lots and lots of discussions that are relevant topics to their world schooling journey. We talk about anxiety, we talk about depression, we talk about friends, we talk about social media, we talk about becoming a self-advocate. So there's lots of things that we facilitate conversations around that are meaningful to them in their journey.
So these summits are designed as a forum for practically everybody, from veteran world schoolers to those who are just starting out. And this is a place for these families and people and travelers to come together and to share their experiences and their insights with one another and to strengthen our community as a whole.
Project World School Family Summits are for world schoolers by world schoolers. For us, it's absolutely important that these summits remain all-inclusive, that it's affordable for everybody, and that you feel comfortable being part of this dynamic, incredible gathering. We hope to see you in Chiang Mai, Thailand in October.